Welcome. Tonight we drift back in time to the land of golden sand and whispering rivers, to a world older than memory, where ordinary lives were lived beneath the gaze of the gods. This is not a story of pharaohs or pyramids, but of quiet strength, daily ritual, and eternal rhythm. Close your eyes and let ancient Egypt carry you into rest. Imagine the golden sands of ancient Egypt shimmering under the fading sun, where the river Nile breathes life into a world long buried beneath myth and marble. This is not the story of kings or pyramids. It is the story of the people who toiled in the shadows of temples, who whispered to gods beneath the moonlight, who dreamed beneath the same stars we see today. Morning begins in a small Mubarak home. The air is dry but cool. A pot of barley porridge bubbles quietly. A woman grinds grain with stone, humming a song her grandmother once sang. Her husband prepares his reed basket for the fields where he will irrigate crops with water lifted from the Nile. Children laugh in the courtyard, chasing chickens between pots of herbs and date palms. Life here is humble, but sacred. Every act, cooking, weaving, harvesting, is a form of worship. The sun god Ra rises with purpose, and so do they. Days are filled with labor, bending in the fields, hauling clay, writing on scraps of papyrus. The scribes, hunched over ink-stained tablets, copy wisdom of old, spells for protection, prayers for healing, records of deaths and births. Their writing, sacred and secret, preserves the soul of Egypt. Farmers move with rhythm, guided by the flood and retreat of the Nile. They know when to plant, when to rest, when to pray for rain. Children learn by watching, by doing. There are no schools for most, only the rhythm of survival. At midday, shade is treasure. Meals are shared, bread, lentils, figs, and beer. Laughter, too, is sacred here. Even in a world ruled by drought and scorpion stings, illness is common, but so is healing. Midwives tend births with oils and spells. Herbalists mix honey with garlic, date wine with tree sap. A scarab amulet is tied to the wrist of the sick, not just for hope, but for memory. Death, after all, is not the end. It is preparation. At night, the stars speak. Grandfathers tell stories of jackals in the dunes, of gods walking among men. Mothers chant prayers to Isis for protection. Incense burns. The home glows warm with flame and faith. In the workers' village near the Valley of the Kings, stonemasons and laborers sleep after long days carving tombs for pharaohs, never knowing that thousands of years later, their names, scrawled on walls in red ochre, will still be read. They were not royalty, not warriors, not saints, just people, but people with hope, people with ritual, people who watched the Nile flow and believed that life, like the river, always returns. The air grows cooler now. The night birds sing. Somewhere in the dark, a priest whispers a hymn to the stars. And in a small home, a child closes their eyes, safe in the arms of stories and silence. You too can rest, for the past is not far. It lingers in the sand, in the river, in the flame, in us. Sleep well, traveler, and let the desert cradle your dreams. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope this story carried you gently into rest and gave you a glimpse into the lives that came before us. Sleep peacefully now, and when you wake, know that more stories are waiting. I'll see you again tomorrow with another quiet journey through time. If this helped you drift off, please like the video, subscribe for more, and let history tuck you in each night. Good night.